Hey guys, Jason the EX for SCNS Live, the super cool nerd show. And everybody's finding Marvel Legends figures like crazy. The new Avengers wave is out as of this video, and I'm probably going to be getting those this weekend. But I really just completed this wave, and I haven't had time to review it, but I want to get back into these. So I'm going to start doing bulk reviews of the Marvel Legends figures by wave, because I'm a completionist, so that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, this is the Spider-Man Kingpin Build-A-Figure wave. We've got 7 figures here, so let's go ahead and get right to it. And beyond a shadow of a doubt, my least favorite figure in this wave is the Symbiote Spider-Man. And I just don't like this figure. It's not a bad figure, but I'll get into that. Anyway, so I like what they're doing with Marvel Legends these days, with this being open and them using like a clamshell, with the clamshell that the figure seats in, and then a cover on top of that. I kind of dig that. I'm not sure why. I just like it. Anyway, you see on the top, you got Legend Series, you got a little Spider-Man emblem up there, Marvel's Kingpin. Yes, I went to Movie Trading Company to get this guy, and probably paid more than I should have. Let me tighten up my camera just a little bit. Just a little bit. You got Symbiote Spider-Man. There's some artwork on the side. I don't like these eyes or that chest piece. Anyway, so you got the Symbiote Spider-Man. And the Venom symbiote gives Peter Parker a black suit with special enhanced power, is what it says. And I just don't dig this figure. I mean, we can move that to the side. So let's get into it. I mean, it's an okay figure. I mean, mine does have a flaw on it, but you see, you got the head sculpt here. I don't understand these shades. I don't. Ooh, my lights back a little bit so you can kind of see this guy, but yeah, I don't dig this design. These are like little soft bits. Like, I feel like they could have been upside the head. The chest spider, I don't hate the design. I do hate that mine is missing the paint on this part of the shoulder, and he does have a nice butterfly joint, but he comes with 2 sets of hands. These are only accessories that he comes with. Just the fists and the clawed hands that are on here. And those are definitely claws. And he also has these clawed feet. I just don't dig on that. I don't. And he is on that slim Spider-Man buck. On the back you do have a peg hole for a figure art stand or something to get some posing out of him. But yeah, and you got the little diamonds on the side. Not a lot going on with this figure. Yeah, that's the only color we're dealing with. I had to find one without a lot of paint inconsistencies on the chest. I hate these clawed feet. And then you got some decent articulation. Look, you can go all the way down. Go pretty far forward. You've got the pin inside the foot. Good knee articulation. Very good. You got the thigh cut right there. That's about as far as he can Van Damme it. And twist at the waist. Got a ratcheted joint there in the chest. Spider goes up pretty far. The arms have a universal joint, and yes, I just yawned a little tired. And that's about as far as they will go up. Twist at the bicep, 90 degrees on the elbow. And the hands are all back and forth joints, and they will twist there. And all the fists are the same way too. They've got that same joint on the top of the wrist, top to bottom of the wrist. And he also has a very nice butterfly joint. I mean, he can go pretty far back. I do like that. I like my Spider-Man figures to have nice butterfly joints. Really distracting that not being there. Anyway, and the head can go 360, of course. You got the ball in the head and a peg on the neck, so his head can go all the way back and forward. It's not a badly constructed figure, like I said, just because mine does have one QC issue where the paint was missed, but that doesn't make it a bad figure. Comparison-wise, here he is with the traditional Symbiote Spider-Man, and this one's a little bit taller than this one, especially in the head. The head looks better. This head looks kind of squat, and yeah, give me the classic black suit any day of the week. So, least favorite figure from the line, but hey, you know, it is what it is. And my second least favorite is the 6-arm Spider-Man. And not because I know I've put the 2 Spider-Men in the Spider-Man wave at the bottom of my list, but it's not because it's not a bad figure. It's because of just something they didn't do. So we'll get to that. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. You got the Spider-Man, spider on the top over there. Got some artwork on the sides and on the back. Hoping to cure his spider powers, Peter Parker drinks a special mixture and wakes up with 4 extra arms. So yeah, this guy here. What can I say except they did not put the black lines on him. And that is why I don't like this. I mean, not like is a strong word. I hate that they did not go the extra mile and put the black lines. Yes, they probably spent a lot more money getting this figure made, so that's why they didn't do the black lines. It's something that I can do with a Sharpie. So, yeah, I guess. So you've got the lines where paint should go. This is all etched. He does have a little bit of separation over here. But yeah, also he's got like this weird cut on his, like this one, I can get to line up. This one, not so much. It's always uneven. It's just noticeable and it bothers me, mainly because I don't see any black etching here on the webbing. But it is pretty nice comparison-wise. Here it is next to the Pizza Spidey. The definitive Spider-Man, I think. And also shorter than what we've gotten. I know Pizza Spidey was a bit tall when he came out, but yeah, this guy is considerably shorter. It's noticeable. It's very noticeable. Now, where he does shine is he does the 6-arm design, but you know, you got the feet. They'll go all the way down like that. Legs, good, almost 90. Got the hips there. And let me move his arms out of the way. And he can, look at how far he can Van Damme it. There is no waist articulation. That's because you got all this stuff in here. And the arms are all on universal joints. They'll go back and forth and flex in and out. They all have double joints, which none of the girls in this line have double jointed elbows, but boy, Peter, he sure can get some double joints on every single arm and a bicep swivel as well. The head, go pretty far back and pretty far forward. He's got web shooting hands for his gloved hands and just plain old bare knuckle fists for the arms that have exploded out. Also, this is actually plastic here, so I like that. Yeah, and they'll be using this guy for that Demon Spider-Man, the 6-arm one. I can't think of his name. And as he goes to check Wikipedia, it was Doppelganger. So they'll be using this for Doppelganger. Of course, there's going to be a lot more changes, new head, new arms. It's not a bad figure. It's one that was overdue to be made. I'm happy to have it. It just needs a little bit of customizing to make it perfect. So, yeah. Next up is the Red Goblin. And I don't know anything about this character. I don't. So I wasn't really excited for this figure. So, yeah. I know. A lot of these I'm just not that jazzed for. So you got the spider logo on top. You got Red Goblin. You got the Red Goblin on the side with the glowing mouth. He's got a pumpkin bomb that's symbioted out. And another one down here. And at the top, when Norman Osborn merges with the Carnate symbiote, he becomes the villainous Red Goblin. Yeah, just, I mean, it's a good figure. Just one I was not particularly excited about. That face, though. This is a good figure, just, you know. But look at that face on this guy. That is terrifying. That is truly scary. The big yellow eyes, very kabuki-ish. Nice paint apps on the body. You got the tendrils coming off. And you've got a tail. He has a tail. I don't know why he has a tail, but he has a tail. This accessory on the back just plugs in. We've seen this on a couple of Carnages. Just those tendrils. You can pop them out. That's not your bag. You can just get them out of there. We'll leave them in for the purpose of the review. His other accessory is the pumpkin bomb. Very explodey underneath. With some eyes and a stalk. And yeah, he has a pumpkin bomb. And this tail, I think I would have liked this better if this tail was bendy. If it was just It'll flex. It's a little warm in here, so it's a little bit softer. But it's good distance. But I think they could have done something maybe like what they did with the lizard or something. But it's very movable, very unposable. But you've got some very nice paint apps on the guy. A lot of this is a reuse of the Carnage mold with just changing out the hands. I do see the similarities, and I like what they've done with a good reuse of parts, but I mean, it's yet another symbiote, and I'm just kind of, eh. But anyway, so there's the back of the figure. You got the big tail coming out of there. Articulation-wise, all the way down on that foot. Up, peg in the foot. You got the calf cut. Double joint knees. The tail gets in the way, so I'm just going to go over here. And boom, we can go that far. Got a cut at the thigh. He can Van Damme it only that far. Got a twist at the waist. Soft ratchet in the chest. Universal joint. That will go pretty far up. All the way around. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbow. The hands will go back and forth. Bottom and top and twist. The head go back pretty far. The only thing I wish they'd done on this guy is given him an opening jaw. It is a flexible plastic. I'm not sure how much you want to do that. It looks like it's all connected, but yeah, I wish this was opening and closing, like completely closed, like that. But yeah, it is flexible. You can look down pretty far, and of course 360 at the head. Comparing him, here he is next to, I mean, he is part of the Carnage symbiote, so I keep saying symbiote. It's symbiote. Can't talk tonight. So there he is next to old Cletus Cassidy, and you can see some of the reuse of parts on this guy from this guy. So yeah, heavy reuse of parts, but it is an actual character in the comics, so yeah, that's the Red Goblin. And next up on my list, it's Puma. And I was not excited about this figure at all. I was kind of like, it's Puma, who cares? He's a cougar. He shouldn't even be called Puma. He should be called Mountain Lion or something like that. Anyway, but after getting him in hand, I really like this figure. So we'll get him to the side here. And of course you got Marvel's Puma. Got that on the top. And the artwork on the side, he looks a lot more human than he does in the face on the actual toy. Got his claws there. And then on the back, you see the genetically engineered Thomas Fireheart can transform himself into half mountain lion, half human, known as Puma. So, yeah. Anyway, getting Puma in hand, this guy's pretty good. And he's got some really good detail in the face. Once again, I wish they had done a opening and closing jaw. That's just me. But otherwise, it looks good. I love the eyes. The teeth, you got the mouth nicely painted. There's a lot of paint apps on this guy when you really look at him. This necklace o' teeth here. I love the feather in the back. Well, the two feathers that are connected to his head. Once again, you got a peg hole in the back. He has this armband that's got two more feathers on it. Nice job with the gold there. Got some fur ruff on the back of the arms. Hands, the fur kind of looks really good on the body. I love this belt. I don't know why he has an E on his belt instead of, say, I don't know, P for Puma. Somebody explain that to me. Either that or did he just win like the Everyman Championship or something like that. And continue on down to the legs. You got the spandex. You got the fur with the bands here. And you got the toes again. That makes sense for his character. But yeah, he looks really good. Give him an articulated jaw, and I would have really been just, this guy probably would have made number one. So the feet go down about that far, go up about that far. You're not going to get much resistance from the fur around here. Got a knee joint, goes about that far, not totally flush. I do just like, there seems to be a different type of plastic from here to here. You see this is shinier, whereas this is flatter, and he can Van Damme about that far. The waist has a rotation, and it's covered up by the belt. So I kind of dig that. I'm glad the belt is made from a softer material. It will rise and fall. I thought it was glued in at first, or it may have been, and just me moving it around freed it up. Got a ratchet in the chest. The head can go all the way down, all the way back like that. So he can get some pretty good Puma poses with that universal joint. And the arm for this one go way up there. I thought this was going to hinder articulation. I was wrong. The bicep cut works just fine. And if you want to go with that double jointed, Boom. There you go. You got it all right there. And of course, wrists go top to bottom that way, and we'll rotate. Comparing him to someone in the line here, let's just compare him to Pizza Spidey here. And, you know, let me put his head down. So, yeah, I mean, they always were kind of going at it. So, yeah, Pizza Spidey Puma. He is my fourth best choice of the line. My next choice is Marvel's Black Cat. Now, this figure I'm happy to get because the last Black Cat was not so good. And I found her. Remember how bad she was. I'm going to go ahead and just bring her in. It's better than the Toy Biz version of Black Cat. That one was really horrendous. So, yeah, I love this new design. While not as visually stunning as her classic costume, I like this. It's new. It looks functional. And I love how they do the eyes on here. Of course, with her new accessory item, but we'll get to that. As soon as I go and review the box, you got the Spiral logo on top, Legends series, Marvel's Black Cat. You have the artwork on the side. Very good artwork on here. I love that. And right there, you got sometimes Spider-Man's ally and sometimes his enemy. Felicia Hardy prowls the city as Black Cat. Yes, she does. So, yeah, this figure, pretty good. Pretty dang good. I love the head sculpt on this figure. She's mischievous. She's happy. The hair looks good. You got it pulled back behind the ear. You got the fur ruff around the collar. You got a little bit of a silver right there. I love how the stitching like goes across this yellow and gives it the eye slits. The leather, you got the kind of stretch lines across like at the flex points. And then you've got, I can probably get this out of her hand. Does she have she doesn't have a peg hole in the back, which it's okay because you probably couldn't get to it anyway. She does have the whip around her waist. Totally stealing that from Catwoman. Yeah, you can see more of the stretched leather design. You got the fur around the boots. This is a good figure. It's a good figure, and I really love the, I just love the look of it. Articulation-wise, she can go all the way back on her boot like that, forward, twist at their double jointed knees. You've got the thigh cut. She can Van Damme only about that far. We need to Van Damme it more, guys. We need to be able to Van Damme it more. A no waist articulation, but she does have the ball joint in the torso, so she can get some pretty good poses out of that. Universal joint that goes, look at how far that goes. Yeah, that is good. Of course, goes all the way back. Elbows, here's a problem. Can we not? Double jointed elbows, come on, man. Come on. And her wrists can go up and down, which kind of helps because of the whip action, so she can go up and down off of that part. Same thing with this side, but she can't really hold anything over here. She's got the open claws. The hair is going to keep you from tilting this figure's head back quite a bit. You can kind of use the, she does have the hinge in her neck, if you see there. You see it in there, she does have it. So you kind of have to rely on that hinge more than the actual ball joint, but it's about as far back as I can go. Her torso helps with the looking up. So, and she does have, like I said, she got the belt whip, but she also has the whip here. And this is nice. You got this kind of flat design, kind of like almost like a diamond kind of shape. Got the tip at the end. I like this. This is good. What I really like about this, she can kind of take this whip and, like if she had another character, say Spider-Man, let's just bring in old Pete, and say she can kind of hook this around his neck, you know, like you do when you like somebody. You put a whip around their neck, yeah. You know, and drag them in and stuff, and, you know, there you go, yeah, like that. She was totally like Pepe Le Pew here, you know. Comparison-wise, this figure is already having the thing that I hate about it. Here she is with Black Cat. Oh, I'm sorry, because this head pops off like you would not believe. This was an okay figure. I know I reviewed it, and she is got those heels. So she is not easy to stand up. Are you going to stand up? Are you going to stand up? Are you? Okay, there we go. So there you go. She's a little bit shorter, and she doesn't have that blue wash on her hair. I don't know why they did that. But she's missing some elements from her previous costume. The only thing I really hate, you talk about no articulation in the head, though, or limited. This girl had none. I mean, all that hair got in the way, and her head barely stays on. I can pop it off just like that. So this figure, you know, was good for its time, but in the end, this is our new Black Cat, and I tell you, it looks really, really good. And my number 2 figure from the line is Silver Sable. I really like this figure, and it's long overdue that Silver Sable has got a decent representation in the Marvel Universe. I think with the Spider-Man game, she kind of got a bit of a resurgence. People were like, oh, who's this Silver Sable lady? And yeah, I like this figure. This is more of her classic costume. I could have gone with maybe her long coat, but I guess we're not there with Marvel Legends figures yet. So anyway, gonna get there. We got Silver Sable, got Spider on top. Legend series, of course, Kingpin. I love that look on her face. It is a serious, serious look right there. You got her suit here, and on the back, some hair. Fearless Mercenary, Silver Sable makes her mark. Oh, Silver Sablanova makes her mark as a skilled martial artist and lethal sharpshooter. And there's one problem I have with this figure. There's one small problem. So let's go ahead and bring old Silver in here before we get to looking at the figure, because she comes with 2 accessories, and it's these guns here. Yeah, these guns that we've seen with Deadpool, we've seen with Domino, and a couple of... I'm completely and utterly sick of these guns. What I did do is I found an eBay seller that had some 1/12 scale weaponry. And some of it looked really, really good. Like just little pistols and things. I will have his link in the description box below. But yeah, some really nice looking guns. And I was trying to decide. And he had some other ones that kind of look like blasters. So what I did was I put a little bit of silver paint on them. Kind of put a bit of a wash on there. And I gave her some nice silver handguns. I think these look really good. I didn't paint the front. I needed to, I don't know why I forgot that. But yeah, so her hands got a little bit outstretched, but honestly, I think these real guns look better in her hands. So yeah, look at that. I think those look fantastic. And looking at the figure, you got a very, very good head sculpt there. I love the blue eyes. The red lips. The paint apps are really good on this one. Especially in the face. They nail the eyes. The eyes don't look wonky. And she's got a very stern look on her face. She's got the eyebrows. Everything looks good. I love the silver bandana. Her hair has that blue wash. I don't know why did they do the blue wash here? I guess they wanted to look more silverish, and they didn't do it to Black Cat, but they did it to her. So yeah. Okay, so she got a line. She got some silver detail outside of the gray suit. Got the tactical harness, hole in her back there. The nice pouches, silver butt, and she got the silver on her gloves. It kind of matches that. She got this design across her chest. And the belt buckle, all the little pouches on there. She got the pouches on the side. You know, lots of Liefeld stuff going on here. Pouches. And we got another silver towards the boots and peg holes and everything. So yeah, I really like this figure. And like I said, one that is long overdue. Articulation-wise, you can pull the legs down like that. The ankles down like that. The feet go up. You've got the twist in the foot. Mine's a little stiff. It's not frozen, but it's very stiff, and I don't want to mess with it right now. But the pouches, unfortunately, do slip down a lot. And if you get the Lalandra head out of Mystique, you're probably going to want a second one of these for customizing. She can Van Damme about that far. She also does not have the waist joint, but the ball jointed torso. Arms will go up only about that far on that universal joint, but it'll go 360. Single jointed elbows. What are you going to do? She has different wrist rocker points. She can go down and up on this one. and go back and forth on this one. I like options. Actually, look like she's about to gun fu somebody. Yeah. And the head is also limited back with her hair articulation. But if you use the joint more, you can kind of get it to go back a little bit more. So it looks a little awkward, but you can get her head back more. And down, oops, you can pop her head right off. Which I think what I was kind of doing when I was moving it back so far. There we go. Just pops right back on. You know Marvel Legends. So yeah, Silver Sable, my number 2 figure of the line. Now if you know the line, you already know what my number 1 figure is. And my number 1 figure is the Night Thrasher figure. I really liked the New Warriors back in the day. And honestly, I think this is a really good figure. So he's definitely my favorite from the line. So let me go ahead and get him out of the way. Last one that we're reviewing, Legends series. No spider logo on the top, but you can put a New Warriors logo. Marvel's Night Thrasher. Which I also like all this back here. This kind of PIM particle and looks like webbing, but DNA, and there's a little spider like over there. Nowhere else. You got old Dwayne on the side there in his Night Thrasher garb with his sticks. And the founder of the New Warriors, Dwayne Taylor, is a martial arts master clad in a special combat suit. And New Warriors was sometimes, they were my street heroes. And this guy, I mean, he looks really good. I love that you can see the face in the mask, those eyes of determination. This plastic is very nice, whatever they've used here. I love that it looks shiny like metal. He also has a championship belt. Wait a second. Is that the same damn belt? That's the same damn belt. That's the same damn belt that's on Puma. Except they changed the middle up. So he's got that's the same belt. Okay, reuse of parts. Within the line. Oh. Anyway, you got the nice red championship belt there. You got the sash around his leg, the Night Thrasher signature. I love this armor design on the kneecaps. And the boot treads, I really like those. If they had said we're getting a Night Thrasher figure, I'd call you a liar. I love the red around the helmet. The black and red is, it was a 90s staple. And he has this pack on his back, which I'll take off and show you the details on the back. What he does have is these 2 holes up here, which I'm pretty sure are a reuse from another figure. I just can't figure out which one it is. But yeah, he's got 2 very conspicuous holes up there. Maybe it's from the Beetle figure. I need to dig the Beetle figure out. But he just has 2 pegs for this plate that go there and pin into those holes. So he's got some battle damage on the plate too. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Yeah, it goes like that. Oh, yeah. Make sure. The other accessories he has, and we already saw the plate, but he does have his 2 tonfas. And we've seen these on Daredevil. We've seen them on Mockingbird. They're the same sticks. I kind of wish they would just stop making them able to combine, or I could just not combine them, But he holds them pretty well, and he also has a freaking skateboard. He has a freaking skateboard. Night Thrasher would sometimes use his skateboard. I think he would race across the rooftops on this thing. So you can totally... The only thing I wish it had was peg holes to hold him up a little bit better, because then you got to really balance him. And granted, I don't have him in a skateboarding pose, but look, he's on a skateboard. This is kind of cool. I know it's lame. It's so lame, but I love it. The truncheon sticks can also go into the sides of the pack on the back. That's very much like the comics. And the backpack, you can just clip that in there. Got a lot more scraping and everything on the underside of a skateboard, as it should. I really like this guy. I love the look of him. Giving him a comparison, let's go ahead and just bring back in old Pete. I think that's a good height. He's a little bit taller than Spider-Man, which is just fine with me. Dwayne was always like a big guy, so yeah. It's a friggin' New Warriors. I never thought we'd get an original Night Thrasher from New Warriors in this line, so I'm very happy about that. I honestly could use a couple more New Warriors. Make Speedball, make old school Nova. Now the ankles will go pretty far down, twist into the leg, and this plastic feels really good. I love whatever this plastic is they use. Knees can go back about that far. You got the cut at the thigh. He can Van Damme it about that far. Once again, the belt kind of helps to hide the waist joint. You can go back and forth there. Soft ratchet in the arms. He can go out about that far. He's a bit limited. There's like a lip on this part of the armor. And you just pull that back like that. The head all the way back. Look at that. And all the way forward. Twist at the bicep. Double jointed elbows. Goes about... Wait, I didn't even utilize the one up on the top here. Get up there. There we go. So you can go about that far. And then the wrists. Rotate back and forth. And twist. So good articulation for when you got those truncheon sticks out. So yeah, I'm just going to pin his pack back on here. And there you go. That is Night Thrasher, my number one, my favorite figure from this line. And I really, really like it. And finishing things off, we've got the Build-A-Figure Kingpin. I'm so glad this guy got an update. I actually had my old Kingpin out on my shelf and just saw how much things have improved from when Toy Biz had the license. This guy is big, he's hefty, and he's a perfect representation of Wilson Fisk. So accessory-wise, I'm just going to get right to it. He does have his cane. He's got the nice jewel on there. A little bit of gold, and it ends in a point. Mine has a paint blemish kind of right there. You can see that. Otherwise, this is really nice. Transparent. I said transparent after... Oh, I said that. Translucent. I watch MGO videos and I know people compare me to MGO all the time, and I just said transparent. Oh, I'm not a hack, I promise. I just like MGO's videos. Anyway, and we talk the same. I think we may be related down the line somewhere. You can also hold it like that. Let's get a comparison in here before we do the shots of him. Here he is with the old Kingpin figure. Boy, I remember the days of Toy Biz. So, I mean, this was good for its time. It was. Mine's a little bit dirty. I might have to get rid of this guy now. I don't know how much I could get for him, or should I just take all my Toy Biz stuff and just get rid of it, because I think Marvel Legends Hasbro is doing a lot better. And also, we have to compare him to one of my favorite heroes, and that will be Daredevil. And boy, look at the size. Actually, let's go ahead. Yeah, let's not have our guy fall over here. Because he's also an enemy of old Wilson Fisk. There's Spider-Man. So you see how much he towers over these guys, and I like that. And he's not as fat as the other Kingpin figure that we had. He's big, but he's like, you know, that sumo, not sumo, he's just big. He doesn't have a gut. He's just large in girth. And looking at that head sculpt, man, look at that. But wait, there's more. Not only do you get this, well, let's go into the detail for the figure. You got the black tie, you got his neck, well, his shirt, the top button is unbuttoned. Got that nice purple tie. You can open up the jacket. He's got his waistcoat on. Jacket is nice soft plastic, a little bit of a pocket square there. On the back, just the plain white suit. Plain white suit. You got the details there. And he looks good in this suit. He really does. And you got these huge loafers, which Cora from the show was mentioning something about. She would love to see a Mr. Fix-It. And this will be a perfect buck for Mr. Fix-It. Think about it. Think about it. This will be a good buck for Mr. Fix-It. You got the nice loafers there. Laces up there. You can't really get a lot of articulation. I guess we can go ahead and get into the articulation. It's about as far down as the feet will go. So not much there. That's about as far up. You do have a lot of limitations with this softer plastic up here, but it's not that soft. Now, he has a universal joint. It can only go forward about that much, and it can go back almost 90 degrees. But as you can see, it tucks into that part. So I love that engineering right there. And of course, it'll twist there. And you also have a bicep cut. He can, whoa, I forgot. I forgot he was a Build-A-Figure. He can Van Damme it about that far. The no waist articulation, but he does have the torso Is this a ball joint? I can't really tell if this is... It's a very shallow ball joint. I'm not going to mess with it too much. There's his legs popping off again. All hail King Pop-Off. May his reign last 1,000 years. So the arms will go out about that far, all the way back. He does have a twist at the elbow. The elbow will bend almost not quite 90. He has this little detail of a gold ring, so you can either kiss the ring or get pounded by it. And he's got his nice open hand over here, which can't grasp the cane. Like, he can't, where did the damn cane go? Like, I wanted him to be able to hold it like that, but if you wedge it in there, I've tried this so many ways, but I think, oh, there we go. Really got to wedge it in there, but he can hold it. I don't know how long he won't hold it long. So, looks good, and the head will go all the way around. Got a neck joint there. And also, because I decapitate him, he has an alternate, very angry head. And that head looks really good. Look at the wrinkles. You can see that he is pissed off. He's got those clear blue eyes. Good molding, good sculpt on the teeth. Like, look at the separation between the lip and the teeth. That looks good. So yeah, this is a fine figure and should definitely be replacing any Kingpins that you possibly have within your collection. So overall, it's a pretty solid wave. If anything, it's worth it to get the Kingpin figure, but there are several characters in here that have had first-time representation in the line, and that's important. Yes, there are some reuses of parts, but they feel every character on here is filling a hole in a shelf. Maybe not Black Cat so much, but she's definitely a better figure than the previous release. And this guy, I don't know. You don't really need him. I don't know. Just whatever. Put him on your fridge. Put it on your shelf, I guess. So yeah, I'm Jason X, guys. That has been a review of the Spider-Man Build-A-Figure Kingpin Wave. Like this video, subscribe, and until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.